the whore.
See that? Just showing you, going right with what I was saying. The daughter of a priest can profane herself. She doesn't necessarily have to be laying around, but to profane is to be ungodly, to do things without the Bible, to do things without wisdom. In that sense, right? We looked up that definition of profane. What was it?
Opposite of holy, pretty much. You don't want nothing to be
right.
Being holy.
Go ahead.
She profaned her father.
Yeah.
She
Go ahead.
She shall be burnt with fire.
She shall what?
Shall be burnt with fire.
Yeah, because that idea of whoredom can spread. It's out of order, and the Most High wasn't about letting negative spread. Go ahead.
And he that is the high priest among his brethren, upon whose head the anointing oil was poured, and that is consecrated to put on the garments, shall not uncover his head, nor rend his clothes. Neither shall he go into any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or his mother. Neither shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his God. For the crown of the anointing oil of his God is upon him. I am the Lord. And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow, or a divorced woman, or profane.
Why her virginity? Because when we look up the word virgin, it means unused, not influenced. So he could be the sole influencer in this woman's life. I mean, just think about it. Really just think about that concept of influence. Think about why it all goes hand in hand. Think about why, just go back to the 60s, when black people as a community were married at 80% marriage rate, right? Well, what was going on? Her whole life.
Oh, God.
That was it. Her whole life, she dealt with one man. I go back, I look at my aunt and my uncle. They've been together like 40, maybe 41 years. But that's the only man she ever been with. And I look at their relationship, and you know, she's not the controlling type. You know, she's into the Bible and all that stuff, and Christian, but she's not the controlling type. She's not the it gotta be my way type of woman. She lets my uncle makes all the decisions. She lets him make all the decisions. She listens to his advice. Right? Now, is she a worldly woman? Of course. She definitely got some worldly tendencies about her. But when I look at that little part of their relationship, where when what he says goes, I'm like, yeah, if she had multiple men in her life, it'd be harder for her to humble down to him, because now she has to battle with all the other influences that have been put in her, all the other ways to do things. Like I said last night, if you know how to cook eggs one way, then you're not going to argue about how to cook. If you only know how to do boiled eggs, are you going to argue about how to do scrambled? No, because you don't know how to do scrambled. But now that you've learned how to do boiled, scrambled, sunny side up, over easy, and you know, your man comes and says, I want boiled today, and you're like, well, I don't feel like doing boiled. I feel like doing sunny side up. That's where the conflict comes, because when you don't feel like doing it a certain way because you have options, but he don't want those options, he wants it one way, that's where the conflict comes in. Y'all see that? Does it make sense? So think about it. We were better. That's why the Most High said a woman was supposed to be with one man in her life, because it was gonna limit her influences and the things that, y'all good? Everybody good? Oh, yeah. It was going to limit the things that were put into her mind. Now that when she decided to, just think about it. The women are taught to run around, be promiscuous, have fun, and then settle down when they're 30. Let's think about that. That's like who goes who, who goes to a car dealership and buys a used car for full price of its full retail value as if it had no miles? Who's ever done that? Because it doesn't make sense, right? You're not going to go pay full retail value. You're not going to pay for a 2016 $200,000 and buy it as if it has 0 miles on it. You got to know that that car been driven. I'm not trying to say you women are cars, but just listen to the concept. That car has been driven. It's been driven and used, and somebody else could have did anything they wanted with that car. Now here you come along thinking like, man, I got me a reliable vehicle that's going to get me to and fro to work. Right? And on the outside it looks shiny new, but you don't know what the inner workings are about. You hop in, it starts up. The radio plays, the windows go down. You're like, cool. Step on the pedal, it goes. But all you want to do is go back and forth to work and home. And after so many trips, what happens? What's that smell? Damn. It's burning off oil. But it's a deeper problem just burning some damn oil. You got a head gasket blown. It's oil mixed with radiator fluid. You're like, oh my God, how come they didn't tell me? That's how it is when when a woman has been influencing all these different men. All these problems are there. They're being put in you through all these bad relationships. And then when you go to the guy that's ready to have a good relationship with you and do things the right way, what pops up? The old habits, the old negative, the old problems that you haven't had the ability to eradicate out of yourself. Because let's be real. Let's be truthful with ourselves for a second. Who in here, we all grown-ups in here, right? Everybody in here is, well, besides the kids, and besides him, we're above the age of 40, right? Okay, so I'm dealing with grown-ass people. Who up in here has sat down and had any counsel before you got to the truth? Counsel about the traumas in your life. Okay, one person. You see my point? And I'm talking about not just you women, I'm talking about men too. We go through trauma also. And when I say trauma, I'm talking about your childhood traumas that you seen and lived in, and then they carried over to your adulthood and they influenced your adult way of doing things. Who online, the whole 12 people watching, how many of y'all, before you got into the truth, got any type of counseling for your life traumas? Just put a hand in the thing, in the comment. Put a raised hand if you ever got counseling. Relationship counseling for all your bad, whack, garbage ass relationships that you had. Daddy issue counseling, mommy issue counseling. Who's gotten it? Not very many of us. And so what happens is you carry that baggage, relationship to relationship to relationship, thinking what? That it's going to fix itself through the relationships?
Right.
No, it's going to get worse. Because when you got baggage and negative, and then you add more baggage and negative to that, it makes it worse. It doesn't fix it. So a lot of a woman's baggage is from relationships. A lot of baggage that women carry into these new godly relationships is the baggage from the old way of doing things, the old negative. It hasn't been eradicated out of you, so what you gonna do? You're gonna bring that to your husband. And he gotta deal with all the baggage of all the influence of guys that you've been with. Just think about it. Think about your relationships. And can you honestly, you ain't gotta tell me, tell God, but can you honestly say, oh, we got a hand raised up, got one person out of 12, one person out of 15, see my point? Ain't nobody getting nothing fixed. You just move on to the next situation. It's like driving a broken car. Damn, I smell gas. I smell a leak. Oh well. That'll fix itself. No, it won't. My brakes are squeaking. Oh, the more I drive it, the more it'll fix itself. Like what? Hold on, the more you drive it, the more you're going to damage the car, the brakes, the pads, the rotors. The more it squeaks is the louder it's telling you the problem is getting worse. But see, if you treated your relationship like you treated your car, your relationship would be sparkly. It'd be smelling good. It'd be clean on the inside. It'd be spotless on the outside. The engine would be nice and clean. There would be no leaks. There would be no flat tires. There would be no broken brakes. There would be nothing.
That's right. That's true.
If you treated it, and what do I mean? Because you maintain your car. When you see a problem in your car, you take it to go get fixed, not to put a Band-Aid on it. You take it to a mechanic that you know is going to do what?
Right.
Take the problem out of the car and replace whatever needs to be replaced so that the car can run without that problem. Then the next problem, damn. And as frustrated as it is, right? As frustrating as you get with that car, what do you keep doing? Pouring into that. Because this is my baby. This is my ride or die, right? This done. We got memories in this car. As much as you pour into that car and maintain that vehicle, how come you don't do it for your relationship? How come you don't do it for yourselves? See, we're not taught to talk about what we've been through. The next situation is going to fix it. One person out of 15 has had counseling in their life about their life traumas. And granted, not everybody has trauma in their life. I mean, some people just don't need counseling. They haven't really been through anything. Some people actually live like that decent upbringing where they didn't see their parents fight. They didn't deal with a lot of the things that other people have dealt with. But for the ones that do need it, you better get to fixing. You better get to maintaining because it's not going to fix itself. Flat tires don't fix themselves. Broken head gaskets don't fix themselves. A busted taillight ain't just going to automatically appear brand new because you want it to. You got to go and take out the broken taillight and put in a new one. You got to go rip that engine apart and put in a new one. The same thing you got. Where are we at?
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 14.
Go ahead.
A widow or divorced woman,
Right.
or profane, or an harlot, these shall he not take.
Why? Because they're already influenced. Definitely not a harlot. Definitely not profaned. He's not going to have time to fix that. Even a widowed woman. Think about Judith. She was a widowed woman. Right? Now, she was a righteous woman. But Judith, even as a righteous woman, she was stuck in her ways. She decided that, look, I'm going to fast. This is going to be my fasting regimen, and I'm going to stick to that. Now, if a man comes along and says, I don't want you to do that, she got to battle with that. Well, I do want to do it. Well, I don't want you to do it. Well, I do want to do it. Right? So even in righteousness, there has to be, this woman got to understand that, because, I mean, come on, man. A woman been with a man for 30 years, and then another man comes along. It's going to be hard for her to break out of the routine of that other man.
That's true.
Just going to be hard. It's going to be hard, and there will be contention and battle, clashing of the minds and these different things. That's why it wasn't for us, for the women to be, you with one man for 30 years and you were going to hop into another relationship at 50.
Deal with the other man's spirit.
Yeah, his influence is all over you.
Yeah.
Guess what? His control is all over you. So it'd be hard for you to break that control after so long, that influence. It'd be hard, man. We see it in the world all the time. We get examples of these things all the time, and then we try different categories of time to influence. Whatever priest's daughter wasn't supposed to be what? Come on. The priest's daughter, we just read it. Okay, he's the over of the influence, but who was the direct influence of a daughter? Go to Ezekiel. What do I want? You know what I want?
Yeah.
Ezekiel's, what is it, 16? I think it's, I'm gonna find it real quick. What is it?
It's 1644.
16, yeah, I knew, yeah, it was 16.
Yeah.
Really? Dang, his brain's working. Go to Ezekiel 16 and verse 44. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 16, verse 44.
Go ahead.
Behold.
So we agree that the woman is the influence of her daughter, right? We agree on that. We agree that the husband is the oversight of the influence. Like, you know, if a priest was out doing his priestly job, did he have time to sit there and like micromanage his wife on what she was teaching the children? So he wouldn't go out and get a woman that had a whorish mentality or that was a whore, because now he'd have to micromanage her out of that whoredom. So he was going to get a woman that he can teach her righteousness, teach her how he wanted his lineage to be grown, right? Instill in her the right ways, knowing what? Knowing what? Now I'm going to use this scripture. I don't want nobody to get offended. Women, train up a child in the way that she shall go, and she will not depart. Because when you look at it, this woman was like a child in the fact that she had no influence. She was naive. So when he trained her up in the way that he wanted her to go, she wasn't going to break from that. She was going to train the children and so on and so forth. Not calling y'all children, but just think about the concept of this priest and this wife. She was a child in the spirit. She was a child in influence. Y'all get that? Go ahead, read.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44.
Right.
Behold, every one that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee.
Go ahead.
Saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
Right. See, so the priest had to avoid having a whorish daughter. He had to not get the whorish mama.
That's true.
Right? So, because the mom was the influence. And as the mom goes, if mom hates dad, guess what? So is daughter. If mom is looking at dad skeptically, guess what? Daughter is going to take her cues from mama. And she's going to look at dad with skepticism or with anger or with hatred or with love. If I see you love daddy, right? And she's going to mimic that. So your daughter is a mimic of everything you do. She's a sponge. Go ahead.
Verse 45.
All right.
Thou art thy mother's daughter.
You're your mother's daughter. This could be a positive or a negative, but the Bible's going to show you the negative spin. Read.
That loatheth her husband.
That hates her husband. Go ahead.
And her children.
And her what?
And her children.
Go ahead.
And thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husbands.
Right.
And their children.
Right.
Your mother was an Hittite.
Uh-huh.
And your father an Amorite.
So the Bible is letting us know that the way the mother goes is the way the daughter is going to go. I mean, just go talk to people. And the ones that really have like abusive relationships towards their children. 73. Okay. 7.
Means to detest, to hate, to despise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if mom shows she despises dad's influence,
Feel disgusted.
if she's disgusted by dad's influence, daughter ain't gonna want that influence either.
That's true.
Because as the mother is, so is her daughter. That we can't get around that. Do you ever hear the saying, "The chip don't fall far from the block," or "You're apple from the tree"? Or what is it? What is
Apple
it?
doesn't fall far.
Apple don't fall far from the tree. It's very true.
It's not supposed to.
It's not going to, because no matter what, you can influence and control your family, either for good or for bad. You could be a passive aggressive influence where your actions are being looked at, or you can be an aggressive influence where you're speaking and doing what you speak.
It's true.
What do you want to do? Right? So the priest, the Most High is letting us know the priest didn't have the time to worry about now his children. He didn't have time to sit there and micromanage his kids in the way they were going to be, Because mom micromanaged. But if mom was one way, daughter was going to be that way also. If mom was righteous, holy, pure, meek, mild, soft-spoken, all those great attributes, held her order, her position, discreet, chaste, continent, right? If she was all those things and embodied all those things, guess what? The chip don't fall far from the block. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Daughter was going to be just like mom's. Unless she just was rebellious, right? Unless she was just straight up rebellious. I look at my kids. I push my kids to be in the Bible, and I push my kids to try to be upstanding and have a standard. But the one thing I got to realize is that the way I do things is what he looks at more than anything. He don't give a damn about what I say. He's looking at what I do, right? So if I'm like, bro, clean your room, I already know what's popping in his head. Well, your room's messy too. So I can't. What can I not do? I can't do the I'm a grown up and you're a kid thing, right? I got to do the let me keep my room clean too. That way, when I come to you, he can't look at my example, right? Because I know what he looks at. I know how his mind works. Virgo mind. Try to outsmart things and try to outsmart you, right? And then he's a kid too, where the other two, I could be like, well, I'm a damn grown up. I can make them clean my room if I wanted them to, right? I don't do that. But the point is, you got to understand how the kids react to the way you do things, right? They have a better understanding of, if my room is messy, why is my room messy? Well, we're busy. We're running around. I don't have time to sit there and clean the room every single day. So when I get to it, I'm going to get to it. But y'all should know to keep your rooms clean because you have more time. Keep the house clean because that's your duty. You see that? So let's go back to Leviticus. Honestly, their counsel is not real counsel. It's right. You're absolutely right. It is venting on record. But even the act of talking about what you've been through, that right there, that outlet for some and not holding things in is better than not saying anything.
Right.
And that's all the point that I was trying to make is everything you've ever been through has been held in. And it's like a powder keg waiting to explode. And you tend to do it on the next person close to you. The person that deserves it don't get it. Damn. We're about to. Yeah, we're about to. I can see it. If y'all are on Wi-Fi. No. Right, go ahead. Let's get through this. It's 2 o'clock. We're in the first reading.
Chapter 21, verse 14. That's precept.
Right.
But he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife.
Right. So a virgin, unused woman, uninfluenced woman of his own people. Why? Because even though she wasn't influenced by a man in that way, she was still influenced by her people, and the customs and those different things are going to be instilled in her.
Right.
Go ahead.
Neither shall he profane his seed among his people.
Right.
For I, the Lord, do sanctify him.
This is what happened in the time of Ezra. This is what happened it's happening now. This is why Ezra was so upset and started kicking even the Israelite children out of the land because they were profaned. They didn't even learn their own language. They learned the language of their mothers, the heathen. So if they learned the language, think about it. They was celebrating all the customs, Molech, Amalek, Molech, Shonin, all those different gods. So it had to be eradicated. Break a lot of people off of their religion and off their custom and off their holidays. Just get over it. Just know that. Right? Just know that. You're not going to break them. And if you do, it's going to take so much out of you to get that off of them. You might as well have not dealt with that anyway. Because then what do the kids pick up? They pick up confusion. Read on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron,
Right.
saying, Whosoever he be of thy seed in their generations that hath any blemish, let him not approach to offer the bread of his power.
Mm-hmm.
For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish, he shall not approach.
Right.
A blind man,
Right.
or a lame, or he that hath a flat nose, or anything superfluous,
Mm-hmm.
or a man that is broken-footed or broken-handed.
Mm-hmm. So you just couldn't be lamed or injured or have a blemish to go offer the. You couldn't do that. The Most High wanted things to be the best of the best. Go ahead.
Or crook-backed,
Uh-huh.
or a dwarf, or that had a...
You couldn't be around people anyway if you were scurvy or scabbed. You had to be like that leprosy. You had to be set apart anyway. Was broken, any type of discharge. You couldn't be around people anyway. You couldn't be around. You couldn't go offer up if you had an issue of blood. That's in open wounds. It's pus and blood and disease. So you couldn't be there to do that anyway. Nothing personal. You know, just the most.
You go somewhere, you order a burger. Who here eats?
Oh,
You're at your house.
You
You ready?
and you try to get the cheese from the fridge and it's cold.
And it's cold, so you gotta like melt it in the slow.
Oh,
It wasn't cooked with the burger, so it don't hit.
it don't hit the way it needs to. Yeah.
You take a bite, you do this.
That's one of the most disappointing things in life.
You know what I mean? So you realize what's wrong, babe. You already know what's wrong.
No cheese on my burger. Yeah.
God, so
Yep.
you're disappointed. So I mean, just like you want the best of the best when you pay for something, or if you invested into something, you want the best of the best. You know, so it's the same thing with the Most High.
That's what he's trying to bring out of us.
He wants the best of the best.
Okay.
And don't if you do something for somebody, ain't you supposed to like whatever you're doing for that person, give the best of the best?
Come.
Or if you're a tradesman, and you do a trade for somebody, you build something for somebody, or you fit something for somebody, don't you try to do your best?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bring your best work for that person so that they can appreciate it.
Yep.
So I mean,
So true.
we can look at the Most High and be like, why this? That's messed up. But it's not messed up. It's
Standards.
just standards.
Next reader, right?
Okay.
Oh. Damn. Wait, so why?
What's the with the kids?
Why you so much ago? She got some lungs on her.
Benaiah Shabbat Shah Yahawada Banya Shrala
Benaiah Shabbat Shah, Yahawada, Banya Sha'ala, Imajib, Barak,
Yahawah Shem Yahshah Brakatham
Yahawah Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. We went offline? Oh. We gotta get a new computer. That's gotta be what it is. Computer, that L computer. Computers is pewter. So you're at Leviticus what? Go ahead.
Leviticus 1 verse 21. No man that hath a blemish of the seed of Aaron the priest shall come nigh to offer the offerings of the Lord made by fire. He hath a blemish. He shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his God. He shall eat the bread of his God, both of the most holy and of the holy. Only he shall not go in unto the veil, nor come nigh unto the altar, because he hath a blemish, that he profane not my sanctuaries. For I, the Lord, do sanctify them. And Moses told it unto Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel.
Any questions on 21? I know, it took a lot. Sorry. Any questions? Nope, okay, go ahead.
Chapter 22, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they profane not my holy name in those things which they hallow unto me. I am the Lord. Say unto them, whosoever he be of all your seed among your generations, that goeth unto the holy things which the children of Israel hallow unto the Lord, which his having his uncleanness upon him, that soul shall be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. Verse 4. What man soever of the seed of Aaron is a leper, or hath a running issue, he shall not eat of the holy things until he be clean. And whoso toucheth anything that is unclean by the dead, or a man whose seed goeth from him, or whosoever toucheth any creeping thing whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness, whatsoever uncleanness he hath, the soul which hath touched any such shall be unclean until even, and shall not eat of the holy things unless he wash his flesh with water. And when the sun is down, he shall be clean, and shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his food.
So, once again, like what we're reading is just the Most High had a standard. 2 days ago, me and Mike delivered in these Elamites' house, right? And Mike came out, he was like, be prepared, because they're not dressed. And I was like, wait, what? Why aren't they dressed? But long story short, went in there, and one of the Elamite dudes, he had like scabs all over his body. The first one that was at the door, he had scabs all over his body, and his 2 feet were like really swollen. And the other dude,
y'all went in?
The other dude, yeah, just trying to get it done. But anyways, the other dude, he had not as much, but he had a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So like when we read about stuff like this, where you're reading where you can read it where the Most High is saying, like, if you touch something that's unclean, you're gonna be unclean. Don't come around. Don't take part in this until you wash your clothes, wash your body, and wash your clothes with water. That's a good example. Why? I don't know what they had going on, but something was going on. You know what I'm saying, in that house? So,
I would have called, like, listen, these people are contaminated with leprosy.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
That which dieth of itself, or is torn with beasts, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am the Lord. They shall therefore keep mine ordinance, lest they bear sin for it, and die therefore. If they profane it, I the Lord do sanctify them.
So if something dies of itself, like think about a cow just drops dead, or a chicken drops dead. You don't know what was going on with that animal that made it die. So now you go and you eat this animal that died of itself. You don't know if the animal was sick. You don't know what's going on inside, and now you're eating that. So now that's going to be a part of you. And then an animal that gets torn by another animal, like think about the fear that animal's going through when it sees a lion or sees a wolf going at it. It's a whole bunch of adrenaline that's pumping. All that stuff gets poured into the animal's blood. So now you're eating that, and it's bad. But what the messed up thing is, a lot of us that do eat meat, it's already screwed. Like the cows that you eat, it's already screwed. Like if you see like the farms for how a cow is raised, like the mom cow, the female cow, she's literally working 24/7, no rest for her. That's how they get all the milk. They make sure that the female cow always stays pregnant. That way she can always produce milk. So her body is always carrying a baby cow, even like right after birth. So as soon as she drops the little baby cow off, if it's a boy, that boy gets taken and they go ahead and kill him immediately so that they can have veal. That's what they call it, right? Veal? Veal. The tender meat. And if
not always immediately.
And if it's the female cow, they go ahead and take her and raise her so that she can grow up and do the same thing.
They get her pregnant quickly so that she can milk.
And then they don't let the female cow stay around. They don't let none of the cows stay around the mom because all that milk is for consumption of people. So that's what happens to the cows. So either way, it's kind of messed up. So eventually the cow That's how a cow spends her life.
Yeah.
And then she drops because of exhaustion, wear and tear, and then that's when they take her, and then they grind her up, they kill her, and then that's when a lot of the meat you eat, a lot of the cow, that's how you get it.
Not supposed to eat down cows. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's contaminated meat. Yeah.
So,
where we at?
Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
There shall no stranger eat of the holy thing. A sojourner of the priest, or an hired servant, shall not eat of the holy thing. But if the priest buy any soul with his money, he shall eat of it, and he that is born in his house, they shall eat of his meat.
Right, if the priests buy any soul, because the priests were able to go and buy servants. You see that? They went and they bought servants. They went to the market and they will buy servants on the market. So it's telling you that if a priest had a servant that he bought, he could eat of the holy things. Go ahead.
Verse 12. If the priest's daughter also be married unto a stranger, she may not eat of an offering of the holy things.
Mm-hmm.
But if the priest's daughter be a widow or divorced and have no child, and is returned unto her father's house, as in her youth, she shall eat of her father's meat.
Mm-hmm.
But there shall no stranger eat thereof.
Abadiah.
So the stranger would be of another nation?
Yep. Did you go past? Go, read.
Verse 14. And if a man eat of the holy thing unwittingly, then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing.
All right, that's it.
Elijah Shabbat Shal, Yashakar, Ban Yasha'ala. I might do. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Verse 15 and 37. I mean, 233.
You know what's crazy, and not to backtrack too far, but think about one thing. The scriptures say in Timothy, we always go to 1 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. If a man desires work, desire the good thing, a bishop must be blameless, husband of one wife, not a brawler, not a striker, not a drunkard, right? Sober-minded, of hospitality, giving the good works, all those attributes, right? Think about how whorish women have, it says it brings a man to a piece of bread. Think about how many situations whorish women have gotten good men into. Where now he's a brawler, he's a striker, he's a drunkard, he's all these things that are not his character are now happening to him because of this woman. Remember, the scriptures say many men have gone out of their wits for women and have sinned for he said they become slaves to them and have sinned because of women. Right? I'm not saying it's all the woman, but a whorish woman, what is she bringing to the table? And what is she going to bring that man into? Right? A man is always going to try to defend what's his. Right? It don't matter if she's a hoe or not. He's going to defend that woman. And sometimes, a lot of the times, the way that woman moves towards other people, that man is drug into the wrong type of situation. He's brought into these situations where now he got to fight, where he never fought before. Right? Where now he got to brawl, and now all of a sudden he's drinking his sorrows away because of this woman. Because she's not bringing the peace actually bringing more chaos and confusion. So, my brain, he was such a good person before he got with her. Man, she was the worst thing that happened to him. And it happens on both ends. She was such a good person before she got with him. So, let's go back. Let's finish up.
Leviticus chapter 22, verse 15. And they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer unto the Lord, or suffer them to bear the iniquity of trespass when they eat their holy things. For I, the Lord, do sanctify them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, that will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his free will offering, which they will offer unto the Lord for a burnt offering, ye shall offer at your own will a male without blemish of the beeves, of the sheep, or of the goats. But whatsoever hath blemish, that shall ye not offer.
Real quick, she said, are not these things supposed to happen to a man that chooses this type of woman? Yeah. First of all, it says a man shall cling to his like. Second of all, it says a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. Yep. So then it also says the Most High is not mocked. A man shall reap what he sows. So yeah, these things will happen if a man chooses this type of person. If a woman chooses a whoremongering type of man, right? You're gonna get the repercussions. Like that's why we read it. It said, "Who can take fire in his bosom, coals in his bosom, and not be burned?" Right? Who can walk on coals and his feet not be burned up? You're not gonna escape the fire that comes along with dealing with these type of people. It also says, "Who shall pity a charmer when he is bitten?" Right? When I see people playing with snakes and they get bit in the face, I'm like, when I see Steve Irwin getting bitten by snakes, and when he got hit with the stingray, I was like, well, shouldn't have been singing with the stingrays.
You know what's funny? Even his own wife was like, he should have known better.
Yeah, he should have known better. You gonna swim with stingrays that got 6-foot barbs? Think about it. This is 6 foot. I'm 6 foot. The tail part of the stingray was that long. How big was the stingray?
It's true.
That thing was huge. So they're nice and cute and cuddly when they're small, where you could feed them at the aquarium, little anchovies. But when they get to 20 feet big, wide, and 6 feet long tails, that's where you know, let me stay home. Let me stay on the boat.
That's true.
Come on, bro. You got to have some type of this. But when I heard it, I did the same thing. I was like, well, he's like, this is the most poisonous snake in the world. Let me go find it. Mm-hmm. He jumps into the damn snake pit. Who gonna pity a man when he's bitten by that type of woman? So you're absolutely right, sis. Yes, he's gonna get he's gonna get that repercussion. So unfortunate. Some men, again, that simple-minded man that is just not looking for those cues. I feel sorry for them, but they still got to be watching and looking. You can't be simple your whole life. You got to take some counsel. You got to take some advice.
Well, I was gonna say that the people around you that actually truly love you are gonna say, hey, you need to watch out with the way she's moving. If you ignore that, that's your fault.
Which a lot of men do.
Yep.
A lot of women do. Y'all just hating. Y'all just jealous. Y'all don't want to see me happy. Yeah, we want to see you happy. We don't want to see you hurt. Yep. We don't want to see you happy one minute then hurt the next. Anyhow, jump back.
For it shall not be acceptable for you.
Where you at?
Going to verse 21.
Go ahead.
And whosoever offereth a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord to accomplish his vow, or a free will offering in beeves or sheep, it shall be perfect to be accepted. there shall be no blemish therein, blind or broken or maimed, or having a wen, or scurvy, or scab. Ye shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto the Lord. Either a bullock or a lamb that have anything
superfluous,
or lacking in his parts, that mayest thou offer.
Superfluous. It's like, you ever meet those people that have like 11 fingers? Right? I don't know if that's a big thing anymore, but there would be people that have like the extra pinky.
Oh, come.
That's something superfluous, right? That's something you have animals. Sometimes they'll have 3 ears, or they have like that extra ear, or they have a double tail. You ever see that? The animals will have like 2 tails coming out, 2 tailbones, and there's things like that where you weren't supposed to look at that animal and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna give that one because it's blemished. It ain't worth it anyway."
Right.
You were supposed to always give the best of the best.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Or that mayest thou offer for a free will offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. Ye shall not offer unto the Lord that which is bruised, or crushed, or broken, or cut, neither shall you make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a stranger's hand shall you offer the bread of your God of any of these, because their corruption is in them.
That's why the Most High,
Wow.
when he told Saul to wipe out Amalek and all their cattle, when he wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah and all their cattle, you couldn't take the cattle of the Sodomites and think that was going to be an acceptable offering to the Most High.
It's true.
You couldn't take the camel of the cattle, of Amalek, and feel like, oh, the Most High was going to accept these things. He just said it. What verse you at?
Verse 25.
He said it. Neither from a stranger's hand shall you offer the bread of your God of any of these, because their corruption is in them. Their corruption is in them. What was Sodom and Gomorrah doing with their animals? Hell to the yeah. That wasn't just a place of homosexuality. You could only imagine that they were sleeping with their animals. Said their corruption is in them. Right? So they probably had unlawful animals. They probably had animals mixing and mingling and all types of weird stuff that we weren't supposed to want to eat those animals or sacrifice them.
And then you just like we have a diet that we live to, the animal's supposed to live to a certain diet too. So you can see like them, it's just like here, like you got animal food, but you're feeding the animal, you don't even really know like what's in the food and stuff like that.
Right.
But imagine like these other nations, whereas we would know, okay, our animals, they're gonna be eating grass, they're gonna be doing this and that, but the other nations, they may be feeding their animals things that they weren't meant to eat. And then you can go and that'll mess up the animal, and you want to go and offer that to the Most High. It wouldn't work like that.
She said, explain the free will offering. So that was one of the many offerings that the Most High allowed us to give. 22, right? You had your wave offering, your heave offering. So let's see, 22:18. Right. I mean, the free will offering was just a volunteered offering. It wasn't something that was mandatory. So you would bring whatever was lawful and say, hey, this is my free will offering. It wasn't a sin offering. It wasn't any of those type of offerings. This was just something you wanted to give. Something you wanted to give to the priest. Something that you wanted to offer to the temple, to the priest. So, it says voluntariness, free will offering, free will voluntary offering, abundant gift, freely plentiful, voluntarily willing. It doesn't really go too much unless he got something.
It doesn't really say in here either. It has all the offerings but that one.
Let's see here. Free will.
But yeah, you know, when you look at the free will offering too, it's like, just think about it, brothers and sisters doing it here. Like, a good example, Derek got the fan.
Free will offering.
That's a free will offering. Yeah, I got the extension.
Yeah.
One.
The menorah, the coal burner. Somebody brought some oils in. Those are the sister brought the oil. Those are free will offerings.
Yeah.
Those are free, whatever, you know, if somebody said, hey, I'm gonna get y'all a new ram's horn, or I'm gonna get you a new menorah, you know, those would be free will offerings. We didn't say, get us a new menorah, get us a ram's horn. They decided to get that on their own, out of their own will, out of their own mind, freely. So, can you explain? Yeah. Go ahead. Go back to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 22, verse 25, third precept. And blemishes be in them, they shall not be accepted for you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, when a bullock or a sheep or a goat is brought forth, then it shall be 7 days under the dam.
Why? 7 days. Oh, go ahead. Read on.
And from the 8th day, and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right, so the dam, I believe, is the mother, right? Yeah. 7 days under the dam. Let me make sure. Leviticus 22 and what?
27.
8 days under the dam. Yeah, the mother. Yeah, the mother. So you would keep it with the mother for 7 days. You wouldn't separate it. You keep it with the mothers, and then on the 8th day, you would do what?
And thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. What?
The precept to that is actually Exodus chapter 22, verse 30.
Okay.
It says, likewise, thou shalt do with thine oxen and with thy sheep 7 days it shall be with his dam.
Right.
On the 8th day thou shalt give it to me. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So you keep the animal with the mother. You don't stress it out. You don't starve it. You keep it with the mom so it can be fed. It can still be in comfort, right? And then on the 8th day, you take it and you offer.
Okay. And then we go to 1 Samuel 7 and 9 real quick.
This is that one, huh?
Yeah. Just on the down.
1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 9.
And then somebody else can give me 2 Samuel 24 and verse 24. Go ahead.
And Samuel took a sucking lamb and offered it for a burnt offering holy unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
And Samuel cried unto the Lord for Israel, and the Lord heard him.
So it says Samuel took a sucking lamb, right? And it said that if you was going to offer a lamb, it had to be at least 7 days, right? So I'm just going here because it wasn't like it was just fresh out of birth. Most High at least gave 1 week, you know what I mean, for it to happen. But this was another thing too. You don't see too many times in the scriptures where you would give an offering that was this young. You see what I'm saying? It's rare. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the only time that you actually seen one that young.
Well, think about it. A lamb or an animal that's going to feed off its mom is going to do it within the first year. So it didn't have to be that it was a 7-day-old animal. It was just within that first year. So, I mean, how long does a lamb nurse? 6 months?
Okay.
Before it starts eating grass? How long? Watch. How long does a lamb nurse?
According to Sheep 101, it is generally not recommended that pasture-reared lambs be weaned before they are 90 days old, preferably 120 days.
See that?
The size
So
of
that's
the
6 months,
6 months, yeah.
right? But 90 days is 90 days is 3 months. 104, was that 4 months? About 4.5 months. Yeah, right. So it wasn't that they were super young. It was just, remember, it says a lamb without blemish of the first year. So they had to be from that 7 day or that first year period, and you could take them. You could take them at any time within that year.
Okay.
Yeah. So think about it. Would you go for the super young lamb anyway? The 7-day-old lamb ain't got no meat on his bones. Nah. I'm gonna get the fat boy. That's 6 months.
Oh, sorry.
What?
But in like the context of like the story right here, the Samuels.
Yeah.
What was happening was we were worshiping Baalim
Yeah, Balaam.
and Balaam and Ashtaroth. So you know what we were doing.
Yeah, we were throwing our kids.
Like when the Most High had us do that, like in this time, because we was getting our butts kicked by the Philistines.
Right.
It was almost too like he was trying to work our conscience in this time too with that. But
Yeah. I mean, to get a sucking lamb, that
Yeah.
thing is crying. That thing is losing it. That thing wants his mama.
It's true.
Right? It's
Most High
just
was
like how
trying.
you were tossing your kids and they crying and mommy and they burning them alive.
okay.
Yep.
So that was to jog the memory a little bit too. I mean, jog the conscience a little bit.
Yeah.
Now go to 2 Samuel real quick, the one that I had called.
2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 24.
And this one was back at verse 25 where he said he wasn't supposed to take something from a stranger's hand to offer it. Check this out. Read 2 Samuel 24.
Oh yeah, David.
And the king said unto Araunah,
Uh-huh.
Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price.
So just to give a little bit of context,
David
the
numbered
king,
people, right?
yeah, this is where David numbered the people. And the king that it's speaking of is David. So David said unto Araunah, he's another king too. Araunah offered all the lambs and the cattle and stuff like that David was going to need to offer his sacrifice to the Most High. And he was going to give it to him for free. But David said, nah, I'm going to buy it of thee for a price. Read on.
Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which does cost me nothing.
You see that? David said, I'm not going to offer unto the Most High something that didn't cost me anything. So whenever you offer unto the Lord, whatever you offer unto the Lord, it's supposed to have some value. If you're going to do something for the Lord, that's why it says, whatever you do for the Lord, do it wholeheartedly. You can never go far enough. So you don't give the Most High crumbs whenever you offer something to, whenever you provide your services for the Most High, whenever you do anything, you don't just do it half-assed or you just give crumbs. You see that? It's supposed to mean something to you. It's supposed to cost something. So it's supposed to be of value. Go ahead.
So the Lord, so David bought the trenching floor.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, we can go back. We can go back to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 22, verse 28. And whether it be cow or ewe, ye shall not kill it and her young both in one day. And when you will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord, offer it at your own will. On the same day it shall be eaten up. Ye shall leave none of it until the morrow. I am the Lord. Therefore shall you keep my commandments and do them. I am the Lord. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am the Lord which shall hallow you, that brought you out of the land of Egypt, and be your God. I am the Lord.
That's it? All right, rub it up.
Ramiro, Shabbat Yashika, Bayashala.
Ramiro Shabbat Shal Yashika. Ramido Shabbat Shah Yashakar Bon Yasha Allah. Imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Oh, baby. Where we at?
Leviticus 23, verse 1. Read the verse 18.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts.
Right. Holy convocations are gathering by summons. All right. So the Most High is showing us that these feast days are a gathering, and we're summoned to be there. What is the first feast that he goes into? Go ahead.
6 days will work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest,
Right.
an holy convocation.
A holy gathering. Right. So we gathered, and it was a feast. So we ate on the Sabbath. So we did cook. We did clean. We did eat. Okay. We didn't just lay there in the closet, not moving, right? Not breathing. We think about it. The burnt offering, the fire of the burnt offering, it said it never went out. Now, if you have a fire that's a log fire, what do you got to constantly do with that fire? You got to feed the fire. Somebody got to lift that wood up, right? Now remember, the altar was how high? Who remembers? It had a ramp, so how high was it? What?
It was 6 feet high.
It was 6 feet high. How long was it? What?
10 feet long.
It was 10 feet long. How wide was it? What?
6 feet.
6 feet. So imagine an oven. Imagine a flat top that long. 10 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet high. Think about what kind of fire you had to have that could reach up that high.
That's true.
Think about how much wood it took. Remember, this fire, it said the fire for the burnt offering never went out. That means that there had to be a man dedicated, or several men dedicated around the clock to make sure that that fire was raging. How do you get firewood? Somebody's cutting trees round the clock, 7 days per week. So if you thought the Sabbath was not about, if you got caught up in like, oh, you can't work on the Sabbath, well, what work are you doing? It's good to do good on the Sabbath day. What was the purpose? We needed that fire to burn because we sacrificed that burnt offering. We got together, we ate. First feast. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no work therein.
No work of your own. None of your work. None of your work that's going to promote your pocket. Go ahead.
It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations which ye shall proclaim in their season. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
So we just came out of Passover and unleavened bread, right? Go ahead.
Unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do not servile.
Where you at? Oh, you should not do no servile work?
You shall do no servile work
Is that what it
therein. But ye shall offer an offering made by the fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the 7th day is the holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And the Lord
Right, servile work is like for services. Services, right? You're not doing your services. Oh, I'm a blacksmith by trade. Well, that's a service. You got to stop doing that for one day and do a different service, right? You're not doing your work, your customer care work, basically. You're not serving the people in that stead to be, repaid with any type of money and things like that. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruit of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord, to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, an lamb without blemish of the first year, for a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of a hin. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought chief of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves and 2 deals. They shall be of fine flour, they shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruit unto the Lord.
Right, so what is that? The Feast of First Fruits, or what else? Any Pentecost? Right?
Yes. First fruits Pentecost.
Right. That was how many days after the Passover? What's 7 times 5?
35.
Right. It said 7 Sabbaths, right? There was a specific amount of days. Come on, who's taking their soldier's test? Who remembers?
It's 50 days afterwards.
Right, 50 days.
Oh yeah, because 7 Passover, 7 Sabbath, so it's 49 and
Yeah.
50 days.
Right.
7. So 7.
7 times 7.
times 7, 49.
Yeah, why not do 7 times 5? 5 days in a week. I'm tripping.
Didn't you say that?
I said 35.
He said 35.
Yes. How'd you get 35?
Because I said 7 times 5 and not 7 times 7.
Oh.
I'm losing it up here. That's why.
No, I was trying to get the 9.
Yeah, 7 times 7 is 49, plus the 1 is 50. I knew it was 50 days. I'm like, wait a minute. How did I get 35? Right, so it's 50 days from Passover is the Feast of Pentecost. Go ahead.
Isn't that coming up?
That's coming up, sister. Right?
It's like what, maybe 2 weeks from now? 3 weeks from now?
You said what?
We're fasting that day.
Oh, hey, nobody got no first fruits of corn, huh? Nobody got no fine flour.
What day was Passover again?
Passover was on April the 17th.
Oh, we got time.
We gotta look into it.
Probably halfway there.
Flyer already.
Really? A Pentecost? Okay. I didn't read. See, well, if it wasn't for y'all, I'd forget everything. But go ahead. So we got Pentecost coming up soon.
Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with their meat offering and their drink offering, even an offering made by fire, a sweet savor unto the Lord.
You want to read another one?
Sure.
Yeah, read that one.
Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruit for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs they shall be holy to the Lord for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing.
So you shouldn't do no servile work, right? It says, such as pertains to a servant or a slave. Well, we weren't all servants or slaves.
No work. And the Lord spake unto the saying, Speak unto the Lord, being made by fire unto the Lord,